It wasn't until the second grade that my mother finally let me walk to school by myself for the very first time. I tried to convince her for months that I was old enough to make the journey myself. I couldn't wait for the first time I would get to splash in a puddle or pet a dog walking by or say a bad word without any consequences. So on that fateful morning, I geared up with my backpack and my rain boots, and I took my very first step outside of the house by myself. Then the second step, then another, until about 20 steps later when I arrived at the front door of my school, just right across the street. And you better believe I was proud of myself. However, had I been accomplishing that same feat today, I would likely be the only kid to do so. The rest would be in their parents' cars, being dropped off. Today, we will first throw on our rain boots and discuss the benefits of walking to school. Then we will stomp in the puddle of why kids aren't walking to school anymore. If you need some context on the situation, these statistics speak for themselves. A University of Michigan study found that in 1969, over 50% of kids walked or cycled to school. In 2024, that number is less than 13%. Another Canadian study in 2018 found that over 50% of kids drove to a school that was less than a 5-minute walk away. A study by the University of Toronto states, in short, that walking to school promotes focus, critical thinking skills, and overall physical health. The author of the article, George Mammon, also wrote one about depression and walking. He states that for everybody, not just school children, walking just 20 minutes a day can be huge for preventing depression. 20 minutes that can be achieved from the home to the school. Oh, what's that? Oh, do I walk to school? No, I don't. And why is that? Because I'm lazy. That's right, you could give me 1,000,000 years and I couldn't give you one good reason as to why I can't get up just 40 minutes earlier to make the 2.3-mile trek every day. And as far as high schoolers go, I'm one of the least lazy. Why do you think I'm in debate? And why is that? It's simple. I'll say it. I don't like the mud. I don't like the rain. I don't like blizzards. And I'm not the only person in the world who feels that way. However, it's practically a rhetorical question when it comes to why parents don't let their young kids walk to school every day for their safety. When your kid is at risk of being hit by a 2-ton metal machine, at least they're safer in a different 2-ton metal machine, right? Well, it's no revelation that kids are less likely to get hit by a car if they're not in the path of cars. Well, even though 235 child pedestrians died in traffic crashes in 2020, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics on Prevention of Child Pedestrian Injury, it's still just the driver's fault. With some proper training of the rules of the road and finding a path for them that isn't in the way of too many busy streets, the risk goes way down. However, it's time to address the elephant in the room. The scariest thing that every parent prays will never happen to their child. The thing that unfortunately happened to Jacob Wetterling back in 1989. Jacob was out on his bike with friends one night when he was suddenly taken at gunpoint, rendered victim to several unspeakable crimes, and killed at only 11 years old. With that in mind, it's no wonder why parents keep their kids in their seatbelts. But in the end, cases like Jacob's are few and far between. A more recent DOJ study found that the data does not demonstrate any change in rates from the earlier study. So the risk of a minor getting abducted by a stranger, with about 72 million kids 0 to 17 in America, the odds are about 1 in 720,000, or closing in on 1 in a million. With that statistic in mind, I'd say it's safe to let your kids out alone and explore once in a while, bearing in mind that they know the importance of stranger danger. So today, we first threw on our rain boots and discussed the benefits of walking to school. Then we stomped in the puddle of why kids aren't walking to school anymore. The long and the short of it is that kids need a reason to be peeled away from their crusty iPads these days. And what better than an excursion across the street to school? Thank you.